How to protect yourself from breathing ozone. In this video, I will give you 10 tips plus a bonus how to make sure you don't expose yourself to dangerous levels of ozone when you do ozone treatments at home. I'm Paula, the crazy ozone lady from thepowerofozone.com, and as the name says, I've done some pretty crazy shit in my life when it comes to ozone, and some of it didn't end very well. So here's an opportunity for you to learn from my craziness so that you won't have to make the same mistakes. Home ozone treatments can be a great remedy for a wide variety of conditions, but the gas should never be inhaled. Breathing ozone is not part of ozone therapy. But when doing ozone treatments, chances are quite high that significant amounts of the gas will escape into the room and that you will accidentally inhale them. And when that happens, it can produce some dramatic reactions. It can constrict your lungs and leave you gasping for air and just give you the sensation of not being able to breathe. And this can feel extremely distressing. In the worst case, you can even pass out and have permanent lung damage. So yes, ozone, when inhaled, can be quite dangerous. And you can actually find reports of accidents at public swimming pools which use ozone to sterilize and purify the water. And during those accidents, some ozone was released and poisoned some of the visitors, which ended up in the hospital. That's why a breathing protection should be part of every ozone setup. So now let me show you the 10 tips and tricks how to minimize your risk of accidentally inhaling too much ozone when you do ozone therapy. Number 1, wear a mask. This is hands down my favorite way to protect myself against ozone. A 3M mask with special filters which give protection against ozone at 10 times the OEL or operational evaluation level, which is apparently a standard set by the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, or at 10 times the OSHA PEL, the permissible exposure limit according to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So those specific filters, in this case it's a 3M filter with a number 2138, which is the blue one, or the 2097, the pink one, certifiably protect against ozone. Now it's possible that other filters, other masks work as well, but those two do so certifiably. And by the way, those simple surgical masks that people wear nowadays, they do not work. So it has to be special, really dense filters like those two here in order to really filter and neutralize the ozone. I've been wearing the 3M masks during ozone treatments for several years now, and I just absolutely love them. I think they're a complete game changer because they allow me to stay mobile during the ozone treatment. So I don't have to sit there rigidly and make sure that the fan blows right at me. No, I can move my head, I can move it right and left, I can work on my computer, read a book, I can even get up and walk around. And the mask is always there to protect me. So I think this is really the best solution when it comes to ozone protection. And the filters can last for years, even with heavy use. So the first pair of filters that I used, they lasted me for I think 4 or 5 years. You can pick up the mask and the filters, which usually come separately. So you can pick them up at your local Home Depot for around 40 to 50 bucks. Or you can order them on Amazon. See the description below this video. So this is my hands down #1 favorite way to protect myself against ozone during insufflations or ozone saunas or other ozone treatments. Now I understand that my suggestion to use this type of mask elicits some strong reactions by people in the ozone community. And some people act outright offended when I talk about those masks. They're like, "What? A mask? What an outrageous idea! You don't need a mask." I'm not sure why that is, and I really don't care because the mask works absolutely great. And I think this is one of my single best ideas when it comes to ozone treatments at home. Plus, it comes with an added bonus. It keeps away all the hysterical pro-maskers and Great Reset deniers who believe that mask mandates are there to protect us. Yes, there are people who seriously believe this. Number 2, best solution to protect yourself from breathing ozone, a fan. This is what I used to do before I discovered the masks. So just put a fan in front of you and let it blow right in your face to blow away all the ozone. But for some applications like ozone saunas and the ozone body bag, you may actually need more than just a fan. So you may have to use a fan, mask and a towel, but more on that later. So yeah, if you use a fan, just place it right in front of you, that it blows right into your face and blows all the ozone away to make sure you won't inhale it. By the way, a ceiling fan will not do it. You need something, you need a fan which is placed right in front of you, right in front of your face and hits your face directly. Another solution, neck fans. I haven't tried them personally, but a member of our ozone group has, and he says that they work absolutely great. So this is something to try out as well. Number 3, use your patio or your balcony or your garden or some other outdoor space that you have. If you're doing ozone bagging, go outside before opening the bag. If you have a nice big bag porch which is protected from peering eyes, just set your ozone sauna outside on that porch. If you're ozonating water, put it on your balcony. You get the idea. So just put that stuff outside and let other people smell it. Remember that one time when your neighbor did a barbecue in his garden and filled your whole living room with smoke? Well, now it's payback time, baby. Number 4, open doors and windows. If you don't have a patio or an outdoor space, then open all doors on windows and create a draft. Make sure there's maximum ventilation. If you have a ceiling fan, turn it on, but don't count on it alone for sufficient ventilation. But you can add it to all the other precautions you can use. Now, this is especially helpful after the ozone treatment if you want to air your room out as quickly as possible. Number 5, use a distractor. A distractor is a tube filled with a certain material which neutralizes ozone. So a distractor has an opening on both ends. Ozone comes in on one side and oxygen comes out the other. So whenever you can, use one of those gadgets. One of the most genius solutions comes from Promolife. They have water bubblers with distractors directly attached to them. So the excess ozone does not escape into the room, but goes right into that little gadget and gets neutralized. So you can prepare your ozone water while literally sitting next to it and you won't smell anything. It's absolutely brilliant. A different option is to manually attach the distractor every time you ozonate water. So this here is Simplio3's super elegant solution. If you're filling a bag or a syringe for rectal or ear insufflations, use a so-called syringe filling station which comes with a distractor. Now, they can be used only with certain ozone applications, like making water, filling bags or syringes, but when you do those applications, then please use a distractor. Number 6, wrap a towel around your neck. If you're doing an ozone sauna or use the full body ozone bag, use a towel to wrap around your neck to trap the ozone inside the sauna box and prevent it from escaping. Because what happens is that the heat inside the sauna will rise and it will propel the ozone upwards through the neck hole. If you use a towel around your neck, it will prevent you from breathing it. Now, when it comes to ozone saunas, I recommend the triple protection. So towel, fan, and mask. Number 7, put a towel on your lap. A towel, or it can be also a pillow. This is specifically for vaginal insufflations. As I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, a bunch of ozone experts is actually of the opinion that vaginal ozone insufflations are powerful systemic ozone treatments, something I've been saying for more than 10 years. But vaginal insufflations are ideally done in the continuous fashion, meaning that the inserted catheter is connected to the ozone generator and the ozone flows in a direct and constant flow inside. So it's more kind of an ozone douche or an ozone gas rinse. The drawback here, most of the gas escapes the same way it came in and it ends up in the room. To prevent this from happening and to prevent you from breathing it in, put a towel on your lap or a pillow to soak up the gas. In addition, you also want to put a fan in front of you or wear a mask. But make sure to use either a white or an old towel, since ozone will bleach every fabric. By the way, what book is it that I'm reading here? Curious. Number 8, don't hold the ozone output hose close to your nose. Now, some people like to check whether the machine produces any ozone before they start the ozone treatment. Don't do it. Just assume that it makes ozone if the light goes on, or just use the latex glove test. What you should never do is keep the ozone output hose close to your nose and sniff on it, because this is a sure way to hurt yourself, because you're basically directing the concentrated ozone stream straight towards your nose, and this is quite dangerous. If you really want to smell it, which again I do not recommend, then better keep it away from you 1 or 2 feet and use the other hand to fan it towards you. If you catch a whiff of the gas, then you know that it's making ozone. But you don't really need to do this either, since even if you use all the protections and all the precautions outlined in this video, some ozone will always escape, and sooner or later you will catch a whiff, and then you will have your confirmation that yes, ozone was indeed produced during the ozone treatment. Number 9, leave the room. If you're ozonating water by using a simple open jug or a glass and don't have one of those fancy bubblers with a destructor attached to it, then just leave the room. Come back after 10 minutes when the water is done. Remember to take a deep breath before you enter and hold it until you turn off the ozone generator and open the window. Number 10, hold your breath while drinking ozonated water. This is something I mentioned in my earlier video, drinking ozonated water, how to do it right. When you drink ozone water, you want to avoid inhaling the ozone which collects on the water surface. So keep the glass away from you, take a deep breath, and then drink the water while holding your breath the whole time. The next point is a bonus trick. This is vitamin C. Now, vitamin C will not protect you from inhaling gas, but it will remedy some of the damage if you accidentally did inhale ozone gas. So for that, just dissolve some vitamin C powder. It can be several grams, 2, 3, 4, 5 grams of vitamin C, as much as you can stomach. Or you can also use liposomal vitamin C, or you can also drink freshly squeezed lemon, lime, orange or grapefruit juice. So just make a big glass of freshly squeezed citrus fruit juice and drink it right away. And this can counteract some of the worst reactions of an ozone overdose. The good news is that it is really difficult to expose yourself to too much ozone without knowing it, just like it is impossible to unknowingly hold your hand into the fire for too long. You will automatically recoil. The same is true for ozone gas. If you smell too much ozone, you will automatically recoil and try to run away and remove yourself from the ozone source as fast as possible. But when you do ozone treatments at home, the daily exposure can add up over time, and it can cause breathing difficulties, coughing, pain in your lungs, harshness in your throat, or weakness. Those are the downsides. The upsides are that ozone can help us fight the true epidemic of institutionalized stupidity, aka the government is here to help you. If you want to join the fight, then put your mask on, turn the ozone generator on and the television off. Also, become a member of the Ozone Rebel Gang by subscribing to my newsletter. Just go to thepowerofozone.com/news. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Nothing in this video is meant as medical advice, although I don't know what I said could have been misunderstood as such, but safe is safe.